So there I was, I think I was 10 or 11. I'm around the campfire and I'm right on the edge where the shadows start and the firelight ends. Me and my dad. Every story I have of my dad, Papa Joe, starts with him and the cigarette. And I have 100 stories, right? But this is one of my favorites. And I've told it a bunch, but I'll share it with you. I'm on the edge of the fire standing with him, and I look up and I say, Dad, are you scared of what's in the dark? And my dad takes a hit on his cigarette, looks down at me and says, Bubba, to hell with what's in the dark. It should be scared of us. So one of my favorite stories about my dad. Now, my dad was in the military, served in Vietnam. And so my dad's the kind of guy that if you call and say you need backup, he's going to ask you one question. Do I come heavy or do I come light? And I felt fortunate having that kind of support in my life. But my dad's also the kind of guy that was not raised in a house full of love. So he made sure that me and my sister were raised in a house of love. Between him and my mother, we were lucky. We were raised in a house of love. And my dad is also that same kind of dad, right? That is going to come heavy or light. If you're loved by him and you need backup, he is the best backup you can have. But that same guy is not going to leave a room without hugging you and kissing you and telling you he loves you. He's not going to walk off or leave, no matter who's around. Doesn't matter if it's important business people. Doesn't matter what kind of function you're at. When he's leaving, he's going to walk up, he's going to hug you, he's going to kiss you, and he's going to tell you he loves you. And that was important because, yes, I got foot to butt when I was in trouble, but I got hugged every day, and I got told I love you every day, and I got told I believe in you every day, and I got held accountable for stuff I did wrong. But there was also some grace and mercy with him that I know he didn't experience himself. So it took him a lot to make sure that cycle changed with him, or that chain was broken with him, and he started a new tradition in his world, and that is of love and accountability. So that's a story of my dad. I was lucky to be raised by Joe Powell, and I'm happy to call him my dad. Now you're going to see some video. You're going to see a video now. I was lucky enough to get 13 guys to come on, and they're going to share stories, lessons they've learned. They're going to share their experience as a dad. They may talk about their dad. So it's going to range, but I hope you enjoy it because I think there's a lot of stuff needed in the world right now. And we could do a whole video on what's needed in the world. But one of the things, a part of that, I think are strong dads that are involved in their kids' lives. And I'm lucky to know these guys. And if you're one of the guys that I sent the message to and we couldn't work it out, I'm sorry, maybe next time. But these are not all my buddies that I'm proud to call friends and that are great dads, but this is a handful of them. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, dads, Heath Esslinger here, and I am excited to be encouraging you this morning. Man, what a privilege it is to be a dad. As a father myself, man, we are raising the next generation of difference makers that I believe are going to change the world for good. I love what Dr. Tim Elmore says. He says, man, don't spend so much time preparing your child or the path for your child, but prepare your child for the path. I often find myself as a father getting so consumed with what matters now, I lose sight of what matters most. And I just want to challenge all you dads out there who are making a difference, man, to focus on what matters most as you raise that son or daughter, because you are the greatest difference maker in their life. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, what's going on? This is Scott Chase from KZ106. Proud to spend a couple of moments with you right now. I'm going to tell you a multi-generational kind of a Father's Day story. We grew up in a family that loved to hunt and fish and hike and shoot. And at a young age, in fact, I grew up in Evansville, Indiana. At a young age, my dad and I used to go out in the woods all the time. He gave me a BB gun, Daisy, BB gun years. You know, I was, probably 6, 7 years old. And we'd go out shooting, kicking cans, and having a great time. And he had grown up, and my papa, my grandfather, his dad, lived in Seabury, Kentucky. We were living in Evansville, Indiana. He was in Seabury, Kentucky, and had a farm, 110 acres. We'd go there and we'd hang out, and we'd go and we'd shoot. And I got a little bit older, and in fact, I think we were 9 years old. I was 9 years old. Went with my dad and my uncle and my papa. We went on a rabbit hunt, and it was cold. Late November, right around Thanksgiving, and we had 3 dogs. We had 2 beagles. One was Sport, kind of an interesting dog, man. He'd sometimes go in the brush, go in a briar patch, and just woof, woof, he'd bark. just see if he get anything going. And then we had another pretty tuned in beagle named Clipper, and then another hound that was a red dog. We call him Red. He had a tough life, man. He had got his leg caught in the fence one time. Ended up only having 3 legs and did well. And then, but nonetheless, man, we're out and we're in the woods. We're hunting, and all these dogs get this rabbit up. And I had borrowed a shotgun from my papa. That's what I was using. And I was watching. I never had shot a rabbit at that point, and they chase the rabbit way around as they do. If anybody has rabbit hunted knows, woo, 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 in the distance. And we were right on the other side of a long little ravine. My dad and myself were standing there. My papa and my uncle were at another place. And he goes, "Now you watch right there. The rabbit's going to start coming around. It's coming around right there." And sure enough, he hopped around. He goes, "Okay, now pull your hammer back." And it was a single shot. Take a good aim. And I got this rabbit. And we took it home and, dressed it and got it all ready. And we're sitting there, and I cleaned the shotgun. It was a Sears and Roebuck issued Stevens 16 gauge single shot shotgun hammer. Had a hammer on it. It was a great shotgun. It was my papa's. And cleaned it. I got ready to put it up. And he told me, he goes, "Well, you going to take your shotgun home with you?" And I got this look on my, and I go, chokes me up still to this day. And I go, "Well, yeah, of course I am. Of course I'm going to take that shotgun home with me." And man, I did. And that was my first shotgun. It was a great moment. And I still remember being out with my oldest son, Tanner, up on that same property. And this was at a later date. And we had given him a shotgun that couldn't shoot very well. And my dad had a double barrel Charles Daly 20 gauge side by side. And we were throwing some skeet and shooting it. And I let him shoot this one. Bam. And man, he just couldn't miss with it. He goes, "Man, I finally found my shotgun." Ended up giving him that one. He wrote the whole story up because we were camping on paper plates. The whole story about the whole trip. I still got him in my gun safe downstairs. And then my youngest son, Mason, later on, of course, the same thing. We go out, hunt, fish, hike, shoot. And I had shotgun. Now, I think the first shotgun I got him that he really likes is a nice one, man, Beretta Vinci. And he just doesn't miss with it. So there's a little of my story about my papa and my dad and myself and my sons, and great memories and more great memories to come. And I hope everybody has a great Father's Day. Thanks for letting me share a couple of moments with you. I appreciate it.
Hey guys, this is Andy Smith here, and I hope you guys are all doing well. This Father's Day, I'd just like to reminisce and think about as a young man, I grew up in a great Christian home by 2 loving parents, and oh, by the way, a brother to 23 foster children. And throughout my life, growing up with other foster children and then my biological sister, just watching my dad be a father to so many people, and just trying to be a shining example of what it's like to be a man, and taught me so much growing up. And so today I try to live that out for my children. And one of the greatest gifts that God gave me outside of his son is the ability to be a dad. And man, what an honor it is to raise kids and let them see me on the good days, but also let them see me on the days when I fail, and just showing them how to love and respect other individuals. And so what a honor it is to be a dad. And I just like to tell all you guys, happy Father's Day.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Aaron Mills. I hope you all are doing well. Just wanted to take a moment to, talk about being a dad. I tell you, it's an eye-opening experience. I'm kind of a late bloomer because my first child, I was 35 years old, and she was brought into the world. And of course, I have a daughter and 2 boys, and each of them have such unique personalities. I learned something from them every single moment. It's just a pleasure, being a dad, being in a position to, guide my kids and teach them, some of the lessons that I've learned throughout life, and then teach them to be good citizens and have good character, be good students, be good ambassadors of the Mills name, and be good ambassadors for the Chattanooga community as they continue to grow. Um, my kids are Caden, AJ, and Isaiah. They are 13, 11 and 8 years old. Isaiah's getting ready to be 9 years old. And just to be able to, play football with them, play little card games with them, show them a lot of things. And nowadays they're showing me a lot of things because I'm not too quick on the computer, if you get what I'm saying. So being a dad is great, and I thank God each and every moment for allowing me this opportunity to kind of just be a dad, and I can't thank him enough. So, listen, gentlemen, happy Father's Day to you all, and I hope you have a great one. And let's continue to keep each other lifted because unity is what we need today. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Want to wish you a happy Father's Day for all you fathers out there. My name is Sean Whitfield, and I have two outstanding daughters. My youngest daughter is 14. Her name is Maya. My oldest daughter is 21, and her name is Alexis. And I'll speak a little bit more about them in just a moment, but I want to express the thanks and gratitude and what a blessing it was to have the father that I have. And his name is Stanley Whitfield, and he is a father that taught my brother and I so much about business and about being a man and being a great father and being a leader. Uh, Outstanding Christian man, raised us in church and taught us about the Lord and just all the great things that you'd want to know as a man and as a father in life. I owe so much to him, and I only wish I could be half the father that he is and still continue to live or learn from him still today. He's 76 years old, doing well and outstanding health. So I'm very blessed to still be able to see and visit and spend time with my father. My two daughters, I wish I could say they're daddy's girls, but they're not. They're mother's girls. However, very blessed. I have an outstanding relationship with them both. My youngest daughter is in middle school at Heritage and is really big into volleyball. We're very proud of her. And then my oldest daughter's in her third year of college and nursing school, and also very proud of her. Both are very smart young ladies, outstanding grades, and have so much to be thankful for. So I know there's a lot of outstanding fathers on this video that many of you are already viewing, and there's more fathers to come. You're going to learn something from each one of them. And I'm looking forward to viewing this video and learning from each one of them and have so much respect for all of them. And all of them have something to share with you today. I want to express my gratitude and thanks to Clint for allowing me to be a part of this video. And I want to wish all of you out there a happy Father's Day.
Hey everybody, this is Cowboy Joe. Happy Father's Day, first of all, to everyone. Being a father is special. It's something that I knew I wanted as a younger man, and I have two young daughters, 9 and 6, and really they are my world. I mean, I think most dads would agree with that. We're talking about their children, and the one thing I love the most is when I come home, because I get home around 7:30, 8:30. I come in the door and they come running, wanting to hug me and screaming, "Daddy's home!" That's special. You can't replace that with anything. Not with money, not with you name it. That's just something I cherish every single time it happens. And one thing I try to teach my daughters, and boy, I needed daughters when I had my oldest. I really needed them. It really taught me a lot. But the one thing I try to teach them is to treat everyone the same. Treat people how you want to be treated. And it doesn't matter what gender, what race, what color, it doesn't matter. Treat people the way you want to be treated. If we do that, I think this country is going to be in a good place. And also being a father, you get things like this. Coffee mugs. You are the best dad in the world. I agree. I'm sure every father would agree with that too. So happy Father's Day, everybody.
Hi, this is Gerald McCormick, and I'm here to wish you all a happy Father's Day and share just for a minute my experiences, both as a son and as a father. I was lucky to have a father who was close to me and a good role model and really my hero. Unfortunately, he passed away when I was 20 years old, but he had taught me hopefully the basics on how to be a good father myself. I had two daughters. They grew up in Chattanooga, and we loved Chattanooga, and really had a wonderful time being a father. I've had a lot of jobs in my life. Being a father was the most important job I've ever had in my life. And the one thing I would say with your children, especially for you upcoming fathers out there, you need to hold your children accountable, but you always need to make sure they understand that you love them unconditionally. And if you do that, then they're more likely to take your advice when you're holding them accountable. It doesn't always work, but it usually does. And I have faith that as time goes on and they get a little older, fathers get a little smarter as their kids get a little older, and eventually they will appreciate it, even if they don't seem to at the time. So accountability and unconditional love are the two things that new fathers in particular need to know and need to put into action. And with that, I'd like to wish you a happy Father's Day.
Being a father is the best job that I've ever had, but it's also the most difficult job I've ever had, especially in this dumpster fire that is 2020. But raising a boy, it's important that I teach him to be a man, and that has a lot of things involved. For instance, when he starts driving, I want to make sure before he drives his car, he knows how to change his oil, jump a car battery, and change a tire. Other things like if he gets pulled over by the police, whether he's innocent or not. Yes, sir. No, sir. Follow instructions. Fighting that battle is a losing battle. Take it from me. I know from experience. Before he starts dating, some things that he needs to know. Treat all women with respect. When you pick up a date, go to the front door and knock on the door. If her father says have her home at 10 p.m., that means you have her there at 9:55. Learn how to iron a shirt, and when you go out on a date, have your fingernails trimmed and your shoes shined. Things about life, like the internet is forever. Be careful what you post on there. Be careful what you forward on there. Manners are important, treating people with respect. If you give somebody your word, keep it. Things like never make fun of how someone else makes a living. Pay all your debts, no matter how old, how big, how small. Learn to cook. Learn how to make a meal that you can serve to others and 2-3 people, because that served me well over the years. And then really important things like when you're in the bathroom, don't stand at the urinal right next to somebody if there's another open one available. Always look straight ahead, and there is no talking when you're in the bathroom. But most of all, it's important that I teach my son to be a good person. Like in the words of Dr. King, judge people by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. And even though people of all races, colors, creeds, religions, genders can be assholes, it's important to live by the golden rule, and that's treat people how you want to be treated. Those are some words of wisdom that I have for you today. So happy Father's Day.
Hello, everybody. Joe Smith here, and I promise that's not fictitious. That really is my name. And happy Father's Day. And I know a lot of fathers will probably see this, and man, what a joy! What a joy! What a gift from God to be a father. Now I'm a pops, and that's even a better gift. But I got to tell you how important being a dad is. My wife and I have raised 17 foster kids and then 2 kids of our own. And I'd like to say I'm an expert at being a dad, but let me tell you, the hardest, most honorable, most fun, most rewarding, but especially the hardest job that I've ever had is being a dad. And how important that is, and to try to be a role model to your children, and learning how to balance grace with mercy, and learning how to love when they need that, learning how to kick that hiney when they need that. And I think of my own dad, who was such a good man, a quiet man, worked hard, never had much to say, never had anything negative to say about anybody. And he was my adopted dad. He raised me as a small baby. But being a dad is so important, but such an honor and such a gift from God. And I'm honored to share this little platform with so many dads. And I'm anxious to hear some other stories and see some other dads. So I appreciate being included in this little short video. And again, happy Father's Day. Embrace your kids, embrace your grandkids, and then praise God for allowing all of us that are to be dads. God bless you.
Hey, everybody, it's Rich Mozingo. Man, I couldn't be more honored, more proud to be here today and have the opportunity to talk about this. Father's Day is a special day for so many of us, and it's an honor to have a chance to tell a couple of stories here. First one I've got, and I think most of the stories that most people have about their fathers is not about stuff, but it's about time. And I had the opportunity. Gosh, I was young, maybe 8, 9 years old. We lived up in the DC area, way before the Washington Nationals were up there, and we were Orioles fans. So my dad says to me one mid-morning, early afternoon, come on, let's get in the car. And we got in the car and we drove up to Baltimore, and we got to the ticket booth back when there was actually ticket booths. And my dad goes to the ticket booth and he says, hey, listen, I want the 2 best seats you have in this building. So number one, it's only me and him, no sisters, no mom, me and dad going to Baltimore together. And so we buy 2 tickets. We get to the first set of ushers and they point us down a little bit further. The second set of ushers, they point us down a little further. Ends up we're directly behind home plate, literally putting our beverages on the wall right behind the net, right behind home plate. It's the Baltimore Orioles versus the Chicago White Sox. And the Chicago White Sox are pitching a young man by the name of Tom Seaver, future Hall of Famer. And it was right behind the plate, unbelievable seats. But you know what I remember about the day is just getting to spend the entire day with my dad, and just me and my dad being able to do something like that. And that was just a magical day. You know, and it's really kind of come home to roost over the last 3 months as we've all been in the same situation and spent a lot more time at home and around home. I don't think there's anything in the world I would trade for the amount of time that I've gotten to spend with my 2 boys over the last 2-3 months, actually with my whole family. But you know, to do fatherly stuff with them, to hang out with them. You know, we've had debates about religion, debates about politics, you know, debates about society, and just really just smart, interesting young men with their own opinions and their own ideas, and to hear from them. And you know, I've said it for 1,000 times in my life. You know, if you you know, whatever you give, you get more back. And for fathering, it's been that times 10. The amount of time you spend in and the amount of effort you spend, you get so much more back from those kids. And I got to tell you, this last 2.5, 3 months, while it's messed up, you know, a lot of different things in this world right now, it's been an awesome opportunity for us to spend more time together. And I wouldn't give that up for anything in the world. So I guess in closing, once again, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you out there. I hope you all have a great day. Make sure to reach out to your father. And if you are a father, hey, congratulations. It's the best job in the world. Y'all have a great day.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Eric Foster from Big 95.3, Program Director, Brewer Media Group. And I just wanted to give a story about Father's Day, things that you learn about your kids and how you can learn from your kids. My son, at 5 years old, I started him in golf. And my wife called me upset because the lady where he was learning golf had accused him of playing before, and he hadn't. And she sent me video of it, and his swing was absolutely perfect. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this kid is getting ready to go on a scholarship for golf. College is paid for. He played golf up until the age of about 12. Then he wanted to switch to play basketball. By this time, he is behind all of his peers in basketball skills because he has been perfecting his swing and playing golf. And I just warned him. I says, listen, man, this is going to be a very, very hard uphill climb because you are behind the curve when it comes to skills on the basketball court. But Dad, you played, I want to play. So this kid starts it, and I said, all right, I'll help you out. And it was a very, very ugly journey to sit and watch your child be ridiculed and, oh my God, he's garbage, he's this, he's that. And I'm an honest dad. And I told my son, I will never, ever lie to you. Dad, am I getting better? I said, you are getting better at your pace. I said, so keep working. So what I learned from him is that perseverance, man, when you put your mind to something, and it was so incredibly refreshing and painful to watch this kid get better and better. I would put him up against the hardest competition. I would tell the competition, I mean, kick his butt. I mean, really lay into him because I want him to earn your respect. I wanted him to earn the respect. And he did. So his final AAU season, he showed up. We were at a tournament in Orlando, and this kid never questioned anything that I told him to do when it came to learning the game. I said, I want you to learn it not only physically, I want you to learn the X's and O's of it. And to watch him earn his wings, so to speak, from his peers was absolutely refreshing. And it reminded me the importance of being a dad and sometimes not shielding your children from adversity, but allowing them to go into the storm, but you are equipping them with all of the knowledge and the tools. It's like that old fable of the Indian chief that sends his kid into the wilderness to become a man, so to speak, and he leaves the child, and the child thinks that he's alone, but yet and still, right in the bushes, the dad is sitting there watching. That's how it felt. So to all dads, never ever underestimate your importance on your influence with your child. Happy Father's Day, and we wish you guys the best.
Hey, this is Buddy Curry. I want to honor my dad on this Father's Day. A man that did not have a father, never knew his father, and invested so much into me growing up. Everywhere he went, he took me, and I got to see him do life. And although probably he didn't know what he was doing in terms of being intentional as a father, he lived life, and I lived life with him and through him. What a blessing. And I'm so thankful for my dad. Now, for me, what I've done is taken who my dad is, and I want to build on that and honor what he did, but also build in life lessons to my kids. So not only have I tried to live life with my children, but every chance I get, we are talking about life, how life works, how to live a life of value, how to live a life of purpose, how to live a life that pleases God. And uh, my kids know that. And then what in turn is their goal and their role? Their role is to teach their children and to live their life with their children and continue to build on these life lessons so they can have a life of value and purpose. What does that mean? That means to be a strong man that is centered on God's word. Number two, to get married and invest in your wife and live a life that you could lay down your life for your wife and then do the same thing with your children. So on this Father's Day, I just wish my dad the greatest day. Happy Father's Day to him, and to everybody out there, happy Father's Day.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stiles. I'm a football player, not a media guy. I hope you put this one right after Buddy Curry so that makes some kind of sense. I lived to be the ripe old age of 27 years old before I became a father. And I would have sworn, I would have literally put my hand on the Bible and said that I had had the most full and rich and adventure filled life. I could have filled volumes about what I'd done in my 27 years before I had my first son, my first child. And I'll be totally frank here, my kids, and I'm broke out with kids, all know this. I never really wanted kids. I didn't particularly like kids being around me. Kids made me nervous. And God has a sense of humor, so he made sure I had a bunch of them. And the day that my son came into this world, Eli, the oldest one, everything changed. Everything changed. And for months, we didn't even turn on the TV. We just had this little ball of entertainment there in front of us. Months went into years. Then we had the second one. And I had these two girls from the marriage that had already infiltrated my life and my heart. And then life moved on, and I found myself a divorced dad, which was very sad. I'll be totally frank about that. That was nothing I would write a prescription for anybody. But then I remarried my wonderful wife now, and she had two sons. So now I've got four sons and two daughters, and my grandson is the same age as my youngest son. So I'm broke out with kids, and I can say this. It doesn't matter how many mountains I've climbed. It doesn't matter how many times I've gone scuba diving or whitewater kayaking or hang gliding, or how many adventures I've been on, or how many awards I've won at what I do and the various things that I do. It doesn't matter how many famous people I've met, how many concerts I've gone to, how many stages I've graced introducing rock and roll bands. None of that matters when I am low, when I am depressed, when I am happy. The memories that come back to me all involve my kids and being a dad. The golden haze of nostalgia and the best memories that I have all involve my kids. And I feel strongly about this, that when I'm laying on my deathbed, and I am one of those people that actually hopes that I can see it coming. You know, I really hope that it doesn't come and get me during my sleep. That's terrifying to me. But I mean, when I see it coming, I don't think I'm going to be filled with, man, I'm glad I got all those bills paid that month. I'm glad I was able to hit that deadline. I'm glad I was able to get that one car. I just don't think that's going to matter. I think I'm going to remember the conversations I had and the time I spent and the conglomerate hugs that I shared with my children. And every single time they tell me through words or deed that I was a good dad, that's what counts. Happy Father's Day to everybody. I'm sorry, got a little choked up there. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. I wish I still had my dad to say that to. And if you do still have your dad, please tell him, even if you're estranged. It's very important.
You know, my son is 21 years old, and I used to, of course, read him stories and sing to him every night. And as he grew up, not like last night. I mean, I would if he wanted me to, but that would be awkward if I did that every night at 21. But he was growing up. I read him stories and sang to him every night, and he loved Christmas music. And until the time he was probably 6 or 7, I had to sing him especially one song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, every night. Let me tell you something. As a dad, you get pretty good at singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer really fast when you're doing it every night for years. But I look back on it now, and I would give anything for him to be 6 years old and me starting that journey with him again. My daughter, same way. She just turned 16, and she loved to read books. She loved me to read books, but she liked me to read the same books. Not different books, Daddy. Those 2 or 3 books every night. So Dad got good at, doing the abridged version, skipping a page or 2 or a paragraph until she got good enough to realize, because she didn't just want one book every night, the same 3. So it wasn't we had to read the same 3 books. But she had got on to me, right? She caught on. She was like, "Hey, you're skipping. Stop it." So we had to change it up. Going back, I'm just sharing some memories. We changed it up. We would turn all the lights off in the room. We'd open the blinds up out of the window, and we would look out the window at night. And we would find things where it was a bird or a squirrel or a bug or a cloud, and we would make up a story. I'd start it off, and I would say, "Oh, there's a bug. That bug looks like a Tom." And Tom has a sister and a brother, a Susan and a Bart. And we would make up where the bug lived in its life. What was the bug out doing? Or where's that cloud going and the cloud's name? And it sounds silly, but we made up our own story. And I look back on it now, and everybody has those kind of memories, right? If I'm talking to a bunch of dads right now, you have those kind of memories. And when you see older dads smiling at younger dads, so if you're a younger dad and you notice an old guy like me walking, and you've got the diaper bag and the stroller and a carry case, and you're trying to corral kids with the feet, and no, son, stop. we smile for two reasons. One, because we've been there and done that. You know, we've navigated that, and we kind of smile at, yeah, you're earning your bones, man. But the second reason we're smiling is because we kind of wish we could do it again. We're like, boy, that went by fast. And those are great memories. And being a dad has been a great calling. It's a great job. It's made me a better person. My kids, Jacob and Katie, have made me not only have made me a dad, but they've made me a better man and a better person. They've forced me to rethink things as you get older and you start realizing I'm impacting these kids and they're watching, and I want to be a better person for them. And it causes you to consistently evaluate yourself, which is good, because I think it's good for kids to see dads fail and succeed. It's good for them to see dads hold the line and say, nope, we're not moving off this. You're wrong, or the neighbor's wrong, or the teacher's wrong, or you, the kid, is wrong. And we hold the line. And it's also good to let them see dads learn how to apologize and say, I was wrong on that. I need to change, or I shouldn't have said that. It's good for the kids to see that. It's good for the kids to know dad's got my back. You know, if something goes wrong, dad is going to be here, and he's going to stand in front of me to shield me when he can, or beside me when he can, or back me up when he can. But he's also going to be the guy that turns around and holds me accountable. And I've loved being a dad, and I love my kids, and I admire dads who consistently engage in that struggle to be better, and to realize our kids will need different things from us as they grow older. They need us to be consistent in some things, so they always have a touchstone to go back to, but they also need different things from a dad as they get to, you know, go out into the world and navigate the crazy place. And I think now more than ever, the world needs dads, because we do hold the line. We're supposed to. We hold the line for right and wrong. We tell our kids, we show our kids what's important to stand up for. And I don't know. I think now more than ever, dads are in high demand. So I applaud you, and I'm glad to be part of the fraternity. And I support in all your failures and successes. As long as your heart is pure as far as wanting to be a better dad and a better man, then I support that. And I hope you all have a great Father's Day. And I love my kids, and I love my friends and my buddies that are on this video, and all the ones that couldn't be on it. We couldn't get schedules together. I know you're out there trying as hard as you can too, and I admire you and I support you. So happy Father's Day, everybody. Bye.